We've got some more open doubles action for you down on table number 1. In a quarterfinal in the winner's bracket, that's Blake Robertson and Kane Gabriel. On the left side of your screen, Sergie Aragones, James Castillo on the right. Referees for the match, Dan Barber and Garen Shaw. 1-0 lead here in the first game. Boy, there's a lot of talent on this table right now. Certainly when you're talking natural ability, Blake Robertson, certainly one of the guys you're going to talk about as being that naturally gifted, athletic type of player. Kane Gabriel not far behind, if at all. And Sergie Aragones, a guy who has been a finalist in Las Vegas in open doubles. And his partner James Castillo has several pro titles to his credit. And that one flew off the table and all the way across the room. One-0 lead early on for Robertson and Gabriel. Kane Gabriel, of course, a finalist with his partner Mario Aragonello at this year's Tornado World Championships in Lexington. What a memorable performance by those two. Kane originally out of Toronto, Canada, now living in Castle Rock, Colorado. About an hour up the freeway here on I-25. And Blake Robertson playing out of Tampa, Florida, one of the great foosball hotbeds. Players like Spredeman, Yor, Diaz, all coming from that part of the country. Aragones has that one blocked up into the air and off the table. Be interesting as we chart the numbers, thanks to Mr. Clay Tooney. Be interesting to see the 5 rows, because Sergie Aragones with a very good 5. Blake Robertson also a very talented passer of the ball. I'll kind of be fascinated to see who wins that battle. That one up the table. That's a pass from Castillo to Aragones, and that shot attempt up into the air, bounces back down, hit off the light support on the far end, says referee Dan Barber. Shot down the middle on goal by Gabriel. And quickly converting is Blake Robertson. Now, over the years, we have talked about Blake Robertson, who seems to have the most success offensively from his 3-row when he shoots the ball within the first 2 seconds or so. Well, we can chart that now, thanks to Clay Toomey. And as the match goes along, we're also going to kind of have a look at that. Nothing lead early on for Robertson and Gabriel. Kane is going to call timeout. Ball put back into play by Gabriel. Kane's already had 12 opportunities back there to clear the ball, and has cleared only 4 of them, although 7 of them have come back to him already. We're just 3 goals into this first game. Taken away here by Aragones. Serge, again with the excellent 5-row. Shooting against Gabriel, Sergie Aragones. Fires it down the middle. Like that hole was there for most of that possession, and finally Aragones able to exploit it. And he's got his team on the scoreboard. It's now 3-1, but back comes Robertson. 1, 2, 3. Taking some time here. And blocked him in the air and off the table. James Castillo will put the ball back into play. Aragones and Castillo from San Jose, California. Nice pick up here by the quick-handed Robertson, and again, after, what, 3/4 of a second, able to fire that one home, and he has given his team a 4-1 lead. Robertson 4 for 5, shooting it so far. The only one that he's been blocked on was the one he took his time on. Robertson, quick shot attempt here, probably ill-advised. But that's Blake Robertson. He appears to be awesome at times, gets a lead, and then goes away from what he's been doing, as if he has a cushion. And of course, he does mathematically, but in reality, when you consider and factor in momentum, etc., does he really? And that's when you wonder about Blake Robertson and his choices on the foosball table. And I don't mean to be especially harsh in Blake Robertson's direction, but this is a player that has world-class talent, and just as of yet, and despite some excellent finishes, certainly had a very good World Championships, but still not quite able to break through. However, he and his partner Robertson break through with a win here in game number 1. Blake Robertson, Kane Gabriel now over on the right side. Sergie Aragones, James Castillo on the left as we open up game number 2 with Robertson and Gabriel leading 1-0. Aragones. So Serge comes out, passes, and scores it to open up this second game. It's 1-0 in favor of the team from Northern California. And Robertson mishandles it, directs it towards the goal where it's picked up by Castillo. Blake able to poke this one forward. Gets it, sets it. Quick shot attempt taken away by James. And then stuffed back into the goal by Robertson. Serge can't hold on to it. Robertson flips the man over to grab it. Quick pass attempt blocked by Aragones. But the high lane gets through. The quick shot attempt. Castillo with a block. It skies back, and we're going to get a call here. Ball awarded to Aragones. There was a jar in the middle of all of that. Serge will set it up, looking to give his team the lead here in this second game, and he does. Don't underestimate Sergie Aragones. Again, this is a guy who has been in the final in Vegas a couple of times, once in singles, once in doubles. And that is a very difficult tournament. That is a tournament with world-class talent, and this is a guy in Aragones who has been close to victory a couple of times. Gabriel with one of the best push shots in the business from goal. Picked up here by Robertson. Blake's pass attempt. And the steal nicely done by Aragones. Serge again, setting it up. Rocking. Sitting. Tried to take it out to that far side. A nice shot, but a better block by Gabriel. Aragones 3 for 8 shooting it so far. 4 for 9 now for Robertson, who's 0 for 3 here in this second game. Both forwards at about 50% passing the ball. And Aragones tried to grab it, couldn't do so. Right now, Kane Gabriel's clearing percentage is only at 50%, but when you factor in the fact that 10 of his 22 attempts have come back to him, I think that really is a little bit of a misleading stat. And Blake Robertson now has tied it up at 2. Oh, tough break there as Aragones passed it through, then reacted and sent it right back to Robertson's 3-rod, but it's taken away by James Castillo. 2-2 here in the second game. Jim Stevenson, Clay Toomey with you from the 2017 Colorado State Championships here at the Doubletree Hotel in Thornton, Colorado. on a Saturday night, about 11 o'clock Mountain Time. Aragones finding the hole here. Looked like Gabriel kind of got caught in no man's land as Aragones basically sent that one down the middle, and it got through Gabriel. Robertson. Stokes at home far side. It's 3-3. It's 3-3 here in the second game, with Robertson and Gabriel leading 1-0. Winner of this one would advance to the semifinals in the winner's bracket of open doubles. Aragones can't connect here. Gabriel tried to bring a pull shot down the middle and a pull kick. It's scrambled after by both forwards, and eventually it's Castillo who comes up with it. James setting it up just inside that far goal line. Tried to send that pull shot down the middle. Blocked by Robertson. Picked up by Aragones. Serge has his pass stolen away by Blake Robertson. Blake is able to get it through the lane. Will set it up. Stroke it home. Recoil with authority. It's 4-3. Talked about the battle of the Fibros early on. It has been Blake Robertson who has had the advantage. He's 9 of 18 passing. Aragones just 4 of 12. That includes a couple of drops. That one's going to go up into the air and off the table. Blake will hand it to his partner, Kane Gabriel, and he'll put it back into play. Have yet to hear from Kane Gabriel offensively, and that's a big part of Kane's game, his ability to shoot the ball back here. Fires that one on goal, rebound, had a lot behind it, and it comes to the 5 of Aragones. Serge keeps it pretty simple, little mini tic-tac. He'll brush down, he'll go wall, he'll go lane, which he does here. He'll have a chance to tie it, but taken away here by Gabriel. Perhaps a little bit of ring rust being shown by Aragones, who doesn't play out on tour a whole lot, maybe twice a year. James Castillo stroking home the pull shot. Boy, James took his time and exploded to that long hole. It's 4-4. Back comes Robertson. Passing it through, setting it up. Shot, tried to stroke it to that far side, blocked by Castillo, then knocked up into the air and off the table. Castillo will put it back into play. I'm James. I'm going to sit here and maybe go right back to the well with that long pull shot. Tried to angle a pass down the middle. That's dangerous here at 4-4. Comes back with a push kick down the middle. It bounces to his partner, Aragones. Quickly along that near wall goes Serge. Looking to even the match up at a game apiece. Sergie Aragones calls timeout. Ball put back into play by Aragones, who looks to even the match up at a game apiece. Hold on.
You got to make sure you move the ball, not just touch it. Okay. When you touch a second man, you got to make sure it's going to be the wider like that. Right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm going to do it again. Set. Here we go.
All right. Well, the referee, Dan Barber, telling him that he needed to move the ball between men in order to put it back into play, and he does put it into play here. Aragones stokes it home down the middle. It's 1 game apiece. Here we go. It's now Robertson and Gabriel on the left. It's Aragones and Castillo on the right, and quickly to a steal, opening up this third game by Aragones, who will set it up against Gabriel. Fire it home. Serge starting to heat up. Boy, he is such a fighter. Back comes Robertson. Let's see, taking a little time here. And he does find the whole far side. And for the first time in the match, we're going to see a switch with Gabriel moving forward, Robertson moving back. Another chance here for Serge. And another. We'll look at the overall numbers in the match so far, as Blake Robertson has possession back there. Picked up here by Gabriel. Let's see if he's going to use a timeout and bring Robertson back to forward. Appearing as though he wants to shoot it. And of course, he is a very good forward and has it blocked by Castillo. So far in the match, Blake Robertson 11 of 21 passing, 8 of 17 shooting it. Right around 50% on both of those. Gabriel at 50% exactly, clearing it. And Kane has yet to score, and that's kind of a significant stat because generally he is contributing offensively. Sergie Aragones 8 of 17 passing the ball. That includes 2 for 2 in this third game so far. Now make it 3 for 3. And that one turned over, just simply lost. Comes back to Gabriel, who will call timeout and bring Blake Robertson back to forward. Moving back to the forward position. Blake Robertson passes it through, sets it up, strokes it home, and again, after a second or two, and you're going to see the switch again. Sergie Aragones again passing at 50%, shooting at 40%. Castillo clearing 60% of the time. And James has scored the one big pull shot. As Aragones now will look to even it up at 2 here in game number 3, but Robertson back there to make the block. Blake fires that one down the table, picked off here by Serge. Aragones' pass ends up in the goal. Robertson able to pick this one up and fire it home. Again, Blake gets it, goes with it, and scores it. You know, we've talked about this. You would never recommend anyone to do what Blake Robertson does. You really want to teach players to take their time. But he does it really well. All right, we got a call. All right, I'm going to call a jar here on Aragones. The recoil apparently affecting the ball, and it's going to be awarded to to Kane Gabriel. A 3-2 lead here in the third game. Blake Robertson and Kane Gabriel in the lead. And there's Castillo pumping it up the table. So far, Sergie Aragones in a telling statistic, just 6 of 17 shooting it, and that includes 1 of 7 here in this third game. Yet they're only down 3-2 and they're even at a game apiece. Castillo again sending that one towards the goal where it's picked up by Gabriel. And Kane has it blocked back into the goal and in. It has been somewhat of a tentative offensive effort from Kane Gabriel. This is a guy usually you can count on to score 3, 4, 5, and sometimes more in a match. I remember a Nationals a few years ago when he won with Ryan Moore. He scored something like 7 or 8 in the final. Robertson walking it aggressively, and Castillo with a block in the takeaway. We're even at 3 here in game 3. Jim Stevens and Clay Toomey with you on a Saturday night. You're at the Doubletree Hotel, and Castillo will call timeout. James Castillo puts it into play and immediately converts. It's 4-3. Boy, Castillo is a gamer. No question about it. He is a fearless foosball player, and finding some kind of a hole there. Didn't look like a hole, but he found it. Was Robertson to quickly tie it at 4. Gabriel moving forward, Robertson moving back as Aragones tic-tacs the ball on the 5. Chance to win the 3rd game here for Sergie Aragones. And he strokes it home. It's 2-1. So Sergie Aragones, who was 1 for 7 shooting the ball on his 3-row before that possession, comes through just when his team needed him the most. And despite the fact he's only shooting 39% in the match, he and his partner James Castillo now leading 2-1. Blake Robertson will put the ball into play as we open up game number 4. Blake has played a pretty strong match, at least according to the numbers. 52% passing, 52% shooting, and that'll increase here as he passes it and scores it. It's 1-0 here in the 4th. Aragones 52% passing, just 39% shooting the ball. A couple of big goals from James Castillo in this match have really helped out. A couple of timely goals, and Aragones now will look to tie it up, but Gabriel with a block. And that one's going to drop in. It's 2-0. Here's a stat for you. Despite the fact that Sergie Aragones and James Castillo are leading 2-1, they have been outscored in the match 15-11. Because when you look at the numbers, and we've been describing those numbers to you, it's kind of hard to figure, based on the numbers, how those two guys are in the lead in this match. But then, when you look at the fact that they have been outscored, now 16-11, 15-12 so far, I think that kind of explains it. And sometimes the numbers tell you everything, sometimes you got to read between the lines. And there's Gabriel with his first score of the match. Well, Robertson and Gabriel, when they needed it most, have come out with a big performance, opening up this 4th game, but back comes Aragones. And he quickly converts it. And Gabriel showing his frustration by jumping up in the air. It's now 3-2, and Aragones with a steal. And taken right back by Robertson. Good D here by Aragones. But through that high lane goes Blake. Robertson walks it. Trying to come near side, and Castillo there to take it away. It's really something to watch Blake Robertson when he has a possession and he takes his time. He seems to second by second incrementally lose energy until when he finally shoots, it's just not the same as when he unleashes one after a second or two. And because he is able to get to the corner so quickly, has such great hand speed, great athleticism on the table, he is able to get away with it against 95% of the players. However, it's also, I think, the thing that keeps him from breaking through into that highest echelon. Because you're not going to get away with this stuff, the 1-2 second shooting, against Ryan Moore, Tony Spreadman, etc., Todd Lafredo. And that's where he hits the wall. Castillo fires that one up the table. Rebound comes back to James. Castillo again. Ready? 3-3 here in the 4th game Looks like Robertson's going to set up a pull shot against Castillo and stroke it down the middle. It's 4-3. Blake Robertson, Kane Gabriel trying to send this one to a 5th game, but Aragones can give his team a match point right here. Serge rocking. A regrip and stroke it home near side. It is indeed match point for Sergie Aragones and James Castillo. And a timeout called here. Looking at the stats here in the 4th game alone, Sergie Aragones 3 for 6 passing, 3 for 5 shooting. Now that's more like the Sergie Aragones that we know. Blake Robertson just 2 for 6 shooting the ball, 4 of 9 passing. And of course, James Castillo has scored a goal in each of the last 3 games in big situations. 4-4, 4th game. Robertson puts it into play and advances it. Looking to send it down to a 5th game. He sets up the pull shot. Shot attempt blocked, comes back the other way, and it's grabbed on the 5 by Aragones. Serge through the lane, can win it right here. Sergie Aragones to advance to the semifinals. Stokes it home, and there it is. Sergie Aragones and James Castillo defeat Blake Robertson and Kane Gabriel in 4 games to advance to the semifinals in the winners bracket of open doubles.